She'll always be able to remember it. It will become less and less salient or less and less important to her as she goes on. Not in that it doesn't matter that it happened, but it'll be less fresh, less raw to her, and she'll move on with her life.
And move past the last 9 months she spent away from home. Max Stevenson, a child psychologist in Meridian, says she probably had to change some of her thinking just to survive. For example, she may have cooperated with her kidnappers, even formed a relationship with them as a way to stay alive.
As often the victim will try to pretend like this isn't happening, will get this sense of, if I just go along with it, everything will be okay, and wait for something better to happen. So it may well have been that she participated to that extent really as a way to survive.
Stevenson is considered an expert on the psychological impact of being kidnapped. He's helped the military train soldiers to survive should they ever become POWs.
When we talk about people turning to side with their captors in a hostage or kidnapping situation, there's usually at least 3 elements involved. The first element is that their life is in danger, and they know it. The second principle is they recognize that their very survival depends on complying and pleasing their captors.
And the third element that might cause a person to form a relationship with their captor is this. Most people kidnapped don't think anyone is waiting for them to return home. Little did Elizabeth know the whole world was waiting for the day that finally came.
I have no doubt that she did fear for her life that night as she left the room.
We now know Elizabeth was taken to these foothills where she stayed for the next 3 months, just minutes from her home. Elizabeth had to know her family was terrified with no idea where the teenage girl had been taken. So why no cries for help, no attempts to run away from her abductor?
It seems a little peculiar to me that she didn't, that she didn't run or make some sort of reaction to when she's so close. I mean, so close.
If you really think of a child that age, it's just, it's easy to understand it, and it's how could anyone know how they would react?
Perhaps what's most disturbing for this mother are the thoughts of what may have kept Elizabeth quiet, even as she heard her own name being called out by searchers.
Something had happened so either horrible or traumatic or scary that Elizabeth would be afraid to even seek help.
I don't know what her mindset was. I don't know what kind of hell she went through.
And it may be weeks, even months before he does. Ed has said he won't ask his daughter about her ordeal. Even that raises questions.
There's a whole different perspective of what's going on outside of here and the different scandals that could have happened. I've always got that question mark.
I just don't think anyone needs to second guess what they're doing. I think that they're doing absolutely what's best for their child and their family.